Hey everyone, I'm here to talk to you about Gotham Season 2, Episode 3, The Last Laugh. And if you haven't seen this episode, this video will contain spoilers, so I'm just letting you know beforehand. Alright, we start this episode with Jim and Harvey trying to find information on Jerome. You know, he killed the commissioner in the last episode, so they're pretty much out for his blood. They're throwing people out of windows, trying to find some kind of information, but they're not finding anything pretty much. You know, Theo's got their tracks covered from, you know, there's nothing much to tell on these guys because you see last episode somebody tried to tell and they got shot in the head, so there's not many whistleblowers on this group. So yeah, but they're not coming up with any leads. So we get to the hideout of the maniacs, or what's left of them, and Barbara and Tabitha seem to have kindled some kind of relationship. You know, so they have a little moment, and then Theo comes in because Tabitha and Jerome have to tie up some loose ends. So while they leave, Theo and Barbara have a conversation, and Theo tells more of his plans of what he has in store for Gotham, I guess, which sounds pretty Court of Owlish. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but the way he talks is kind of like what I've read about them in the comics, and that which animated movie is it? I can't remember. The one where Batman and Damian fight because Batman doesn't respect him pretty much. But yeah, it really sounds Court of Owlish, but I'm not going to jump to any conclusions yet. He might just be some guy who's really rich and was one of the founders. His parents were one of the founders, or grandparents, whatever, however you want to say it, were founders of Gotham or something like that. I won't say it's Court of Owlish yet, but it seems like it. So we get back to the GCPD, and Harvey is trying to convince Jim to go see Penguin for information, but Jim's not trying to go that route because after, you know, in the first episode, you know, Jim killed somebody collecting money for Penguin, and yeah, he really doesn't want to go around there right now. So at the GCPD, it looks like Jim is pretty much calling the shots. He's giving orders. He's, you know, he's pretty much the boss right now, I guess, until they bring someone else in. You know, he's out for whoever killed Essen. You know, Sarah was his friend, and she always went to bat for him, and so he's really out for Jerome right now. So, you know, he's all hot-tempered, and Leslie's trying to calm him down by inviting him to the Gotham Children Hospital Gala that she's a part of, which, you know, perfect answer. Jim's not interested in any of that, you know. She just wanted to get his mind off of it, but he's not interested in none of that, and I'm sure she knew that he wasn't going to go. So Harvey comes in with info that they have Jerome's father's address because he didn't go with the circus or anything. He found a spot right there in Gotham. Conveniently, he found a spot right there in Gotham, and they're going to go check it out. So that's like the first lead they have, and they're on their way to go check it out. So we get to Jerome's father's house, and he knows somebody's in his house. You know, he walks in, he's already peeped that someone's in his house. Jerome and Tabitha have come to pay him a visit, you know. So Jerome and the good old dad, you know, they start to discuss past times while Jerome puts stuff in his dad's house. He puts one of the canisters that knocked him out, Braille letters. He's pretty much setting him up for the breakout of Arkham, which is really stretched for a blind man, but Jerome says cops are stupid, so they would believe anything that he set up. So, you know, all right, I can go with that. So, you know, Jerome's father is a fortune teller. If you haven't seen season 1, that's how they set him up. He's a fortune teller. And Jerome asks his dad for his fortune. So, Jerome's fortune is that he will be a curse upon Gotham. Children will wake from sleep screaming at the thought of him. His legacy will be death and madness. Sound familiar to anybody? Does that sound familiar to anybody? Like I said, I won't jump to conclusions or anything like that. So, this is the time where Jim and Harvey decide to show up. So, Jerome kills his father, and him and Tabitha set a trap for him. And they come in, and the canister that he left with the knockout gas, Harvey sets the trap, and they both, Harvey gets hit with a lot more of it. Jim drags him out, and he's all dazed. And so Jerome decides to confront him, and, you know, Jim sees him, and you see this look in his eye. He grabs Jerome, and he's trying to choke the life out of him. He's just trying to choke the life out of him before he passes out. And Jerome takes his gun, points it at him, and Tabitha tells him, don't shoot him, he can't kill him. So Tabitha knocks him out, and that's the end of that scene. So now we get to the gala. Bruce and Alfred have shown up, and Alfred is trying to convince Bruce to, you know, be Bruce Wayne pretty much. His dad and mother used to come to these all the time, so he should, you know, pretty much be the billionaire playboy that he is in years to come, you know. So I guess this is where this started out. Alfred's teaching him to blend in while he does his other stuff on the side. So they run into Leslie, which I think is funny because Alfred does not seem to know she's with Jim, and Alfred is flirting with her, and it's really funny to see him flirt with Leslie. It's awesome. So Bruce excuses himself because he sees Selina, and as you know, she's there to rob the place. She's there to rob the place. That's what she does. So there's no other explanation why she's there. She's there to rob the place, and she pretty much says that she's there to eat and rob people. So we get back to Theo and Barbara, and they're all ready for the night. You know, Theo explains that Gotham needs a hero. That sound familiar to anybody? No. A lot of people think Gotham needs a hero, you know. We then see Jerome in disguise. He's disguised as a magician, and that's the entertainment for the night, for the gala. So the plan is set, everything is ready, and then we get back to more of Alfred and Leslie flirting, and you gotta see it. There's no explaining this. You just gotta see it to check it out. So they're kind of a cute couple if you put them together. And the way Jim is going, I don't think they will be together for that much longer. You know, so putting them two together might work. They're kind of cute together. I mean, you know, I never really seen Alfred date anybody. You know, he has the daughter in the comics and all that, but I've never actually seen him. Okay, in the animated series, he did go on a date with somebody, but I've never really seen him be in an actual relationship. So we get to the entertainment. Jerome and Barbara come to the stage. You know, for the first trick, Bruce has been chosen to be sawed in half. You know, nobody else seems to be concerned about this except Alfred and Selina. They're the only ones who seem to be like, oh, wait a second, maybe we shouldn't be chopping Gotham's billionaire in half. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be doing that. They're like the only one that seems to be worried about this. So Barbara walks Bruce back to Alfred, and Leslie kind of gets suspicious. And so for the next trick, they invite the deputy mayor up, and Barbara's mask falls off, and Leslie, she knows exactly who it is, and she calls Jim, and she's grabbed before she can get out her whole message. And Jerome's next trick is knife throwing, so he picks up a knife and throws it straight into the deputy mayor's chest. This is where everything breaks out and the whole place is taken hostage. Alfred handles some of the thugs, that British training and all that, and Bruce, he runs off with Selena, and they, it's just all chaos broke out. It was crazy. So Jim finally shows up, and he gets a call from Jerome, who has Leslie and a list of demands while they're being broadcasted live. So while they're being broadcasted live, Theo stands up and gives a very convincing speech, standing up to Jerome in front of everyone. And while he's doing this, Barbara knocks him out. Boom. And so it's just funny how Gotham's being played right now. We know they're being played, but they don't know. So Selena shows Bruce the way she got in, and they have a moment where Bruce tells her he misses her, young love and all that. So Jim catches sight of Selena and uses her way inside, and Bruce is looking for Alfred, and Jerome decides that it's time for a hostage to be killed. So the first hostage to be killed is Bruce. So they can't find Bruce, so the next choice is Alfred. To make Bruce come out, because Bruce is a good guy. He's not gonna want his butler killed because of him. And so Jim catches Bruce before he goes outside, and they come out with a little plan where Bruce runs out, he hands Alfred a gun, and he gets taken up on stage where he's being held hostage. And so Jim bursts out, they start shooting, Alfred starts shooting, and they pretty much clip everyone. But Bruce is still being held hostage by Jerome. Jerome has a knife to his throat, and they don't have a clear shot. So this is the moment where Theo decides to get up, and he stabs Jerome. It's like, oh man, we knew somebody was going to die in this episode. They teased it. You kind of figured it out. But it still was hard to see, Jerome is was a big character for the first 3 episodes, and I like Cameron. He's a very awesome actor. I watch him in Shameless, and it was hard to see him go, but he did an awesome job. So I salute him on doing an awesome job in this role. But as people don't stay dead in comics. We all know this, that nobody stays dead. So yeah, that's still kind of choking me up, because he was one of my favorite characters. I know a lot of people didn't really care for him, but I've seen him in a lot of things, and I think he came and did this role the way he was supposed to, and he was awesome at it. So finally we get to Penguin, who is watching the chaos on TV, and he's like, that's just what's out there is crazy right now. Chaos for chaos, pretty much. That's not how you do business, It's not how the way we do things. So this is when Harvey decides to bust in, and he knows that Jim did Penguin a favor that caused the guy to die, and he pretty much threatens Penguin that if anything happens to Jim, that he'll be coming for him because he owes him for fish also, and you know, Jim's his partner. He's not going to let anything happen to him. Penguin is not happy about that at all, being threatened like that in front of everybody. So back at the gala, they're cleaning up the destruction pretty much, and you know, the Bat team is together again. They saved the day. You know, Bruce, Alfred, and Batman. So they thank Theo for his help, and they make their exit. You know, Jim and Leslie have a kiss that Alfred sees, and he's like, Bruce, you knew, and you let me make a fool of myself. And that's just hilarious to me. And it's like, oh man. So, getting to the end of the episode, Theo is hailed as a hero for stopping Jerome as they watch the news. Barbara flirts, kinda, with Theo, and Tabitha sees it. So, if you haven't seen Tabitha in the last couple episodes, she's pretty ruthless. So, I wouldn't try to get on her bad side or anything like that. So, while Gotham is watching the news, there are people, and they're kind of like infected by Jerome's madness, you can say. Everybody starts laughing, you know, some guys, he starts stabbing a homeless person, then he starts stabbing his friend, and then we start to hear the prophecy again, you know, and then it goes to Jerome's corpse, and then that's the end of the episode. So everybody's saying that he's been killed off, but we all know that you don't stay dead in the comic universe for that long, and there's plenty of stuff to bring him back to life in this universe. I know they haven't addressed anything like that, but if it is Court of Owls, we know they have a property that heals you back from the brink of death pretty much. And we have the Lazarus Pit in this. I don't know, I'll have to go back and check and see if the Lazarus Pit has been addressed in this universe yet. But we know in Batman, these are some things that would bring the Joker back to life, or Jerome back to life. He's not the Joker. But, you know, I've seen some stuff online where people are saying that he's not the Joker, but he's gonna inspire the next Joker. If we've watched any, you know, or read any, Joker has inspired a lot of people. You know, in Batman Beyond, we get the Joker gang. After Joker's been dead for years, there's a gang for the Joker. So I don't really think that Jerome's inspiring the next Joker. I really think he could play the Joker if they let him, because he's really good at it. He's awesome at it. He's awesome at this role. So I'm saying he could inspire people to be crazy, but if they do bring the Joker, I would like it to be him, and they have me stuck on Cameron right now. They couldn't bring anybody else in that would really fill his shoes in right now as a teenage Joker. So, alright you guys, that's pretty much it. Make sure to watch Flash tonight. You know, it's the season premiere of season 2, so I know everybody's ready for that. So I'm going to be watching it, and hopefully I can get you guys up a review of it tomorrow, maybe? Hopefully I can do that. So enjoy, you guys. Hopefully you enjoy this episode as much as I did, and hopefully you enjoy the Flash tonight. Alright you guys, see ya.